Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Ben Frame, and this is Battle XYZ, where we get to see which generation reigns supreme over them all. Now, beside me are two teams, each consisting of a millennial, a Gen X, and a baby boomer. The winning team moves on in the hopes of winning a brand new car. Now, who will win Battle XYZ? Welcome to round one. So here's how it's going to go. I'm going to ask each team a question. The wheel behind me will determine what decade that question is from. A correct response gets 10 points. However, if the answer is incorrect, the other team better stay on their toes because you'll get a chance to steal that question for 5 points. Now, let's meet our teams and learn a little bit about you. Tell us your name, your age, and where you're from.
My name is Fern. I'm from Rockland County, New York, and I'm 23 years old.
Thanks for being here, Fern.
Hi, Ben. My name is Ryan. I am from Fulton, New York, and I am 29.
Great to meet you, Ryan.
Hi, Ben. I'm Sherry. I'm from Syracuse, New York, and in just a couple of months, I'm going to be turning 39.
Oh, my goodness. You look
I'm
great.
just kidding.
Oh,
It's
Sherry,
really 93.
stop it. You look great.
Thanks.
All right, red team, they tell me that you won the coin toss backstage, which means you get to go first. So we're going to spin our wheel. Let's see what decade we land on. Looks like we're going to the 2000s. Here is the question. Are you ready?
We're ready.
All right, here's the question. What artist did rapper Kanye West famously interrupt at the 2009 VMAs?
I've got it. Beyonce. No, Beyonce.
It's Taylor. Yeah.
Who is Taylor Swift?
Is that your final answer?
Wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll take it.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That is the correct response, Taylor Swift.
Yay.
All right, so now we're going to go over here to the yellow team. And let's check in with the yellow team and meet you guys. Please tell us your name, your age, and where you're from.
My name is London. I'm 19 and I'm from Syracuse, New York.
Very nice to meet you. Thanks for being here.
My name is Imran Faruqi. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I am 35 years old.
Very nice. Okay, thanks for being here.
And I'm Carl Rosenzweig. I'm from Syracuse, and I'm 71.
Excellent. All right. Are you ready to spin the wheel and take time travel through the decades? Let's see what we have. We are in the 90s. All right. Here is the question. Which celebrity popularized the hairstyle known as the Rachel? You might have heard of this. I can read it again if you'd like. The question is, which celebrity popularized the hairstyle known as the Rachel?
Jennifer Aniston.
That is correct. Well done, yellow team. All right, now we're going to go back here to the red team. All right, let's travel through time yet again and spin the wheel. All right, looks like the 70s is where we go next. Here is the question. Who released the hit song Bohemian Rhapsody in 1975? I know that one. Very good.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm going to say Perry Como.
Again, Perry
I'm going
Como.
to say Queen.
Oh, I think it is Queen. Let's go with Queen.
We're going to go with Queen.
Final answer is Queen, and that is correct, red team, for 10 points.
Yay.
Well done. All right, we go right over here without missing a beat to our yellow team. Are you ready? Yes. They've got 2 questions. You've got 1. Let's see if you can even it out with the next response. Let's travel again and spin our wheel. Looks like we landed just on the 1960s. And here is your question. Which Hollywood icon with the initials MM died at the age of 36 in 1962? Shall I read it again?
No.
I think we got it.
Final answer?
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe is correct. Very nice. So it is currently tied. Yellow team has 2 correct answers, and the red team has 2 correct answers. Let's spin again, travel through time, and see where we land. All right, looks like the 1990s. Let's check in here with a question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Red team is ready. Okay. What was the name of the highest selling doll of the 90s that was named after a famous Sesame Street character?
It's one of those Elmo or...
Highest selling doll
It's,
of the 1990s.
it's Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah,
Might
it's
have
Tickle
seen
Me
it
Elmo.
before.
Tickle Me Elmo.
Final response.
Final
Tickle Me
response.
Elmo.
That is correct. Red team takes the lead. And here we go back to the yellow. Let's spin the wheel and see what decade we land on. Again, the 2000s. And here we go. Okay, the question is this. U.S. Airways Flight 1594 landed on what major American river in 2009?
The Hudson River. Yep, we're going to go with the Hudson River.
Hudson River is correct. They made a movie out of it called Sully. Very nice, very nice. Okay, back here we go to the red team. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Sure, Ben.
Let's spin the wheel and travel through time. Looks like we're on the 1990s. This is the question, red team. What company brought us Beanie Babies?
Hasbro.
No, I think it's Ty, spelled T-Y.
Oh, I think you're right.
Go for it, man.
All right,
I think you're
Ty.
Ty Incorporated is the correct response. Very nice. The creators of the Beanie Baby.
Thank you.
Very nice. All right, we're back and forth, back and forth. We've yet to miss a question so far. We've got to start making these harder.
Ben, you've just jinxed
I
us.
know. We'll see what happens. Yellow team, so hold on. Let's first spin our wheel and see what decade we're going to. All right, looks like the 1970s. What war ended in 1975?
Vietnam.
That is correct response. Very nice. All right, good job, yellow team. And here we go yet again back to the red team. Let's spin the wheel and travel through time. We land on, looks like the
A tie.
1990s. All right, here is the question. What 1990s Broadway musical featured Elton John's music and was based off a popular animated film?
Pinball Wizard.
Shall I read it again?
Yeah, The Lion King. That's
Oh, The Lion King.
Yeah.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Phil Collins.
No.
All right, The Lion King.
Lion King is the correct response. Very
Good job.
nice, red team.
Good job.
All right, let's go back here to the yellow team. How's everyone doing?
Okay.
All right, we've yet to miss a question, so let's keep going, see what happens. Let's travel through time with our wheel. And we're back to the 70s. Here is the question. What was the name of NASA's first space shuttle unveiled in 1976? Feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
Atlantis?
I was going to say Challenger, but that's the only one I can think of.
I'll let you know when
Blew
we
up
need
in
an
the 80s,
answer.
but I don't
Yeah.
know if that was maybe it was introduced in the 70s.
Shall I read the question again? We've got a
That's the
couple
only one I can
couple
remember.
moments to get your final answer.
There's Atlantis, there's Endeavor.
All right, yellow team, do we have a final answer? The question was this. What was the name of NASA's first space shuttle unveiled in 1976?
Could go with any of those. I'm not sure.
Challenger.
The Challenger is an incorrect response, which means the red team wins that round. That is the official end of our round one. Red team had 50 points, which means they'll be moving on to round two. But first, this commercial break. Welcome back to Battle XYZ. We have just eliminated the yellow team. They have fallen into the generation gap. And we're back with a red team that have won that first battle, but in order to win the war, you will no longer be competing as a team. That's right. In round two, you will be competing individually. We truly want to find out who is the greatest generation. But before we do that, let's get to know our contestants. All right, a question, the first question for our baby boomer Sherry. Do you remember where you were when JFK was assassinated?
I do indeed, because I lived in Dallas at the time.
Oh my goodness.
With my family. I was a young schoolgirl, and my dad asked me if I wanted to go to the parade that morning. He was willing to take me out of school so that I could see that historic event that was happening right in our hometown.
Oh my goodness.
And I told him no, because I wanted to go to school, because I thought that was important. And my life was very affected by that.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Do you feel that your age is an advantage or is a disadvantage in this game?
Well, this is kind of interesting because the yellow team got a lot of the questions for the baby boomer, and we didn't get so many. We had questions that were a little more contemporary. So these guys really helped me out. So I'm really scared about the end of this.
Okay. All right. Very nice.
I'm not sure how long I'm going to last
You'll
on this
have
round.
plenty of chances in the round 2.
All right.
All right.
Let's see.
Thanks for being here, Sherry.
You're welcome.
Our buddy Ryan is here. Here's the question. A lot of people call Gen Xers the MTV generation. So what was your favorite thing on MTV?
Growing up, Ben, remember watching like the original Real World, the original Road Rules. For the first time, you know, like that was kind of the start of the reality TV generation that now is so popular.
Sure.
And with them being able,
Sure.
you know, to turn on the cameras and real people living in the real world was
Absolutely. I
one of my
remember it
favorite
well.
channels, yeah.
Okay, very good. And next to our millennial, Fern, what do you think has been the biggest event to happen in your lifetime?
Oh, I went to China to intern for CCTV and youth media. I worked as a cameraman and as an assistant writer.
Oh, very nice. Okay, excellent. Another question to ask you Mr. Millennial. Millennials get a lot of flack for being lazy or wanting to be handed things. Ooh, tough. But what do you think people get wrong about you millennials? What don't we understand?
That we're young, we work hard, and that we're just trying to, you know, figure out how to start our lives. Really, we don't have it together yet. You know?
You're
Cut us some
figuring it out.
slack. Yeah.
I remember that. All right, thank you, 3 contestants. All right, we're moving on to round 2. This is a round, a free-for-all. Buzz in when you have the answer. If you answer correctly, just like the previous round, you will get 10 points. However, if the contestant doesn't answer correctly, the other 2 contestants will have a chance to steal that response for 5 points, and you will additionally buzz in. All right, everybody, are we ready to travel through the decade? Of course, we've got to turn to our good old wheel and travel through time. Here we go to round 2. First question is in the 2000s. All right, the question is this. First popularized in Japan, what handheld and egg-shaped digital pet became a global toy fad in the early 2000s? Yes,
Would that be the
Mr. Ryan.
Tamagotchi?
What is it? That is correct. Tamagotchi is the right response. Very nice. All right, let's move on to the second question and spin the wheel, traveling through the decades. We land on 1960s. The question is this. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind was said by who? Yes, Fern.
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong said that. Very nice. Sherry, they've got you going. All right, now's your chance. All right, let's go back to the wheel and spin it, traveling through time. We land on the 1990s. This is the question. What is a scrunchie? Sherry.
It's a hair ornament that you put on a ponytail.
That is correct. A ponytail hair tie. Very nice from the 1990s.
Some girls wear them as bracelets.
Perhaps they're still around.
They
you know?
are,
Who knows?
definitely.
All right, next question is, spin the wheel. This is from 2010. Okay. The iPhone's first number after the original iPhone was the 3G, skipping the 2. It is currently on the 10 or X. What other number has it skipped? It's essentially asking what number has the iPhone skipped? Yes, Sherry.
7.
That is incorrect. Yes, Ryan.
9.
9 is correct, the iPhone 9. Good response. All right, back to the wheel, traveling through time, traveling through our decades. We're going back to the 2000s. Here is the question. In 2005, author Stephanie Meyer published her first book in this 3-part young adult vampire romance series. What was the name of this book and series? Yes.
Vampire Diaries.
That is incorrect. Does Sherry or Ryan have a correct response? Ryan.
That'd be Twilight.
The Twilight series is what we were looking for. Very close, Fern. All right, let's turn back to our wheel and spin through the decades, going all the way to 2010 again. All right, here it is. What film did Jordan Peele write and direct that tackled issues of modern day racism, Fern?
Get Out.
Get Out is the correct response. Very nice. All right, spin the wheel, traveling through time. We go to the next
60s.
question. And that is, again, in 2010. Here's another one. Get ready. 2010, what popular boy band split up in 2015? What? Yes, Sherry.
NSYNC.
NSYNC is not correct. Does Fern has a response?
New Kids on the Block.
That is also not correct. What popular boy band split up in 2015? Ryan, do you have a response? Ryan.
Would that be One Direction?
One Direction is correct. You know your boy bands. Very nice, Ryan.
I tried.
All right, good. All right, let's spin that wheel and travel through time. And we land on the 70s. Here's the
Yay.
question. What blockbuster film debuted in theaters in 1975 about shark attacks in an East Coast beach town?
Oh,
Yes, Fern.
Sharks.
That is an incorrect response. Shall I read it again?
yes, read it again.
What blockbuster film debuted in theaters in 1975 about shark attacks in an East Coast beach town? Any response? I'm sorry, Fern, you already responded. It was incorrect. Ryan or Sherry?
Would that be Jaws?
Jaws
Oh,
was the
yeah.
correct response.
Jaws.
Very
Thought of
close.
it, too.
All right, let's keep moving. We are
think we're winning.
cruising through the second round. Let's spin that wheel and travel through time. We land on the 1980s. Very nice. The year, decade I was born. In 1984, pop star Michael Jackson suffered serious burn injuries while shooting a commercial for what company? Sherry.
Pepsi.
Pepsi is the correct response. Well done, Sherry.
Thank you.
All right, spin the wheel, traveling through time. This will be the last question before we take a break. And it looks like we go back to the 70s.
Good.
Here's a new question from the 70s. What iconic world resort opened in Orlando, Florida in 1971? Yes, Fern.
Universal.
Universal is incorrect. Sherry or Ryan?
Read the question again.
What iconic world resort opened in Orlando, Florida in 1971?
Disney World.
That is correct, Walt Disney. And that brings us to the end of round 2. Now let's check in and see which contestant is leading. I have the scores right here. It appears that Sherry, our baby boomer, is in second place. Ryan is in first place. And it brings us to Fern, our millennial, with 20 points. So sadly, Fern, we're going to have to say goodbye to you. We appreciate you being here. Before you go, tell us a little bit something about the millennials. What is the best part about being a millennial?
We're fighters.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
And we don't need much to make us happy.
Very good. Thanks for being here, Fern. All right, we still have lots to come in the third and final round right here in Battle XYZ. We're going to move ahead with Sherry, our baby boomer, and Ryan, our Gen Xer. So keep it right here on Battle XYZ. Welcome back to Battle XYZ. We started with 2 teams, a millennial, a Gen X, and a baby boomer. What remains are 2 people. We have Sherry, who's our baby boomer, and we have Ryan, who's our Gen Xer. All right, you're both in the final round, round 3. In round 3, we'll give you 60 seconds. I will rapid fire these questions at you, and you'll answer them as quickly as possible. You only need to name the decade that each of these questions happened in. Understood? Any questions? All right, moving into this third and final round. Ryan, we're going to have to ask you to go backstage. We have a soundproof booth that you can sit in over there. And when we're done, we'll wave you on for questions.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you very much. Sherry.
Yes.
It's me and you
I'm
in
ready.
the third and final round.
Okay.
I will be reading as many questions as possible.
Okay.
I won't stop and tell you if they're right or wrong.
Oh, you won't?
And you simply tell me the correct decade
Okay.
of each of those questions. And are you ready? Here we go. What decade did JFK get assassinated in?
60s,
What decade did Apollo 11 land on the moon?
70s,
What decade did The Godfather air?
70s,
What decade did The Breakfast Club premiere?
80s,
What decade did Kurt Cobain die?
2000s,
What decade did Britney Spears have her famous breakdown?
2000s,
What decade did Jersey Shore first air?
2000s,
What decade did the Boston bomber attack?
the 10s,
What decade did Woodstock happen?
the 60s,
What decade did MTV begin?
70s,
What decade did the show Barney premiere?
70s,
What decade did Alcatraz close?
70s,
What decade did The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air first air?
90s,
What decade did the Pope first visit the United States?
80s,
What decade did the attack on the Twin Towers occur?
zeros.
All right, Sherry, you did an excellent job in round 3.
Thank
you
you.
for that. All right, we're going to have you now go backstage while I
right.
ask the same exact questions to Ryan.
All right.
All right.
Okay,
we'll be
thanks,
right
Ben.
with you. Thank you. And here comes Ryan, ready for round 3.
Ben, how are
All right, you know how it goes. As many questions as we can do and go through in 60 seconds.
Okay.
Are you ready? You'll be answering the correct decade of each question. Got it?
Gotcha.
All right, let's put the time on the board. And here we go. What decade did JFK get assassinated?
1960s.
What decade did Apollo 11 land on the moon?
1970s.
What decade did The Godfather air?
1970s.
What decade did The Breakfast Club premiere?
1980s.
What decade did Kurt Cobain die?
1990s.
What decade did Britney Spears have her famous breakdown?
2000s.
What decade did Jersey Shore first air?
2000s.
What decade did the Boston bomber attack?
2010s.
What decade did Woodstock happen?
1960s.
What decade did MTV begin?
1980s.
What decade did the show Barney premiere?
1980s.
What decade did Alcatraz close?
1970s.
What decade did The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air first air?
1990s.
What decade did the Pope first visit the United States?
1980s.
What decade did the attack on the Twin Towers occur?
2000s.
All right, great job, Ryan. Very nice. Our team is tallying up the responses. In the meantime, let's bring back our other contestant, Sherry. All right, looks like we have our final scores, and I'm going to announce the final winner of this week's Battle XYZ. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The winner is Ryan with 11 points and Sherry with 9. Very
Oh,
close.
it was
Thank you
close.
for being here, Ryan. Excellent job. You are the winner.
Congratulations,
As promised, you win a brand new car. Beautiful Chrysler 4-door sedan with a nice sunroof. A nice hunter green color.
That's
Well
fantastic.
done. Well done, Ryan.
Great prize.
It's very good. Thank you, everybody, for watching this week. Tune in next week to Battle XYZ. I'm your host, Ben Frank. Good night.
Have you ever seen anything